Hi, I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, and here's a look at what you can expect from the markets today, Friday, September 27th. Positive jobs data in the U.S. was overshadowed by the ongoing battle to pass an emergency spending bill which will keep the government running past October 1st. Although a shutdown that lasts only a few days will not have a huge impact on markets, it sets a very uncertain tone for upcoming negotiations over the nation's debt ceiling, which, if not resolved, could result in a default in sovereign debt. U.S. and Iranian officials met on Thursday to discuss Iran's disputed nuclear program. Following the meeting, participants were cautiously optimistic about future negotiations. Recent comments from the managing director of the European Stability Mechanism described Greece's debt targets outlined in its bailout program as essentially meaningless. The comments support several Eurozone nations' resistance to debt forgiveness and could put Greece's funding from the IMF in jeopardy. The US and Russia finally agreed on a UN draft resolution to destroy Syria's chemical weapons supply. The plan will not include the threat of military violence if Syria fails to comply, as US officials originally called for. In an interview with the Yorkshire Post, the Bank of England's Governor Mark Carney said he doesn't see the need for any further quantitative easing. Asian markets ended the week on a high. Only the Nikkei faltered, down 0.26%. The Hang Seng Index was up by 0.33%. The Shanghai Composite was up by 0.20%, and the Shenzhen Composite gained 0.30%. European markets ended the week on a low note. The UK's FTSE was down by 0.35%, and the Eurozone Stoxx 600 was down by 0.08%. Italy's MIB lost 0.38%, and the Spanish IBEX was down by 0.23%. In commodity markets, energy futures lost out on easing tension in the Middle East. Brent futures were down by 0.28%, and WTI futures were down by 0.35%. Gold gained 0.29%, and silver was down 0.51%. Industrial metals were up across the board, with aluminum up 1% and tin up 0.22%. In currency markets, the euro lost ground against the dollar and traded at $1.34. The pound gained against the dollar, up 0.22%. The yen gained 0.35% against the dollar, and the Australian dollar was down 0.29% against the greenback. After Thursday's better-than-expected earnings report, Nike gained 6.91% in pre-market trade. JCPenney lost 4.99% in pre-market trade after reports that the company had confirmed an 84 million share public offering. Friday's economic calendar is a busy one. We'll see Italian business confidence and Spanish business confidence, German CPI and French GDP, Eurozone consumer confidence, and from the US we'll see consumer sentiment, CPI, and personal spending data. And that's it for today's Market Primer. I'm Laura Hoy for Benzinga, wishing all of you a profitable Friday. Have a great weekend.